My name is Chioma Innocent, and here are the top stories. Japan elects first female prime minister. Bello Turji releases 100 captives in fresh peace deal effort. Thugs set ablaze ADC Secretariat in Ekiti State amid rising tensions, and Lagos Ohanaeze Ndigbo backs Tinubu's re-election bid. Details now. Thank you for staying tuned. The world news at 12 begins on the foreign scene where Sanae Takaichi has won a historic vote to become Japan's first female prime minister. The 64-year-old conservative is known as Japan's Iron Lady. She is also an admirer of UK's former PM, Margaret Thatcher. This is her third attempt at becoming Japan's leader, and she's the fourth PM in 5 years from her scandal-hit party, the LDP. She belongs to the LDP's hardline wing and is a protege of the late former PM Shinzo Abe. US President Donald Trump had earlier hailed her as a highly respected person of great wisdom. Now that she's elected, her challenges will include fixing a sluggish economy, navigating a rocky US-Japan relationship, and uniting a divided ruling party. In a tragic development, a pastor serving with the Church of Christ in Nations in Mayanga village in Bokos local government area of Plateau State, Reverend Yakubu Mutong, has narrated how Fulani militants killed 7 of his brothers, burnt down his house, and slaughtered 150 of his church members in a devastating and unprovoked attack. Reverend Mutong, who narrated his bitter experience and that of the people in the community, said he personally lost 7 of his brothers to the terrorists who struck the Mayanga village and 10 other villages in coordinated attacks on the night of December 24, 2024. He added that by the time they were done with the attacks, the militant has succeeded in slaughtering over 150 people, burned down several houses, including churches, properties, and foodstuffs. Let's take a listen to him.
So I am Reverend Yakubu Mutong. I am a pastor with the Church of Christ in Nations. But this is my village. This is Mayanga. Mayanga is in Bokos local government, Plateau State of Nigeria. What really happened here is not only in this village that were affected by this crisis. We're affected by more than 11 villages, which Mayanga happens to be one. And in these villages, it is the same method of attack that was conducted. It's the killing, the maiming of people, slaughtering them, and burning of their houses and their foodstuffs and properties. So by now, by the record we have already collected, we have over 150 people that are killed in one day. That is on the 24th of December. That is, the Christmas was just not a Christmas to us, like to celebrate. It was a mourning Christmas because of what happened to us. As you could see, I'm standing here. This is my house in my village, and I lost everything that was in the house, both foodstuff, clothing, and whatever. It was a furnished house, but it is burnt. And even the church that is by my side was burnt, and the pastorium is burnt. Everything about us here in this village is confused. As you could see, that everything is destroyed. But we thank God that some of us are alive. And at the cost of this, like me now, I lost 7 of my brothers at the cost of this crisis that happened. Thank you.
Meanwhile, notorious bandit leader Bello Turji has released no fewer than 100 captives in a renewed peace initiative aimed at ending years of violent attacks and abductions in Zamfara state. Security sources told Zagazola Makama that the release followed sustained dialogue and confidence-building efforts led by community leaders and facilitated through the peace deal process of Northwest Operation Safe Corridor. The freed victims, comprising men, women, and children, were handed over to local authorities and taken to a hospital for medical evaluation before being reunited with their families. A source involved in the negotiations told Zagazola that the move was part of a broader understanding reached with Turji's camp to embrace peace and end hostilities across affected communities in the state. He added that more releases were expected in the coming days as discussions continue between Turji's group and mediators. Authorities have, however, maintained close surveillance to ensure that the peace process remains credible and that no group exploits the negotiations to regroup or rearm. In a recent development, the Secretariat of the African Democratic Congress, ADC in Ekiti State, has been set ablaze by suspected hoodlums in what the party described as a politically motivated attack. In a video posted on the ADC's official Facebook page on Tuesday, the party confirmed that the incident occurred overnight, destroying the building and thousands of plastic chairs. According to the party statement, the attack was carried out by those allegedly threatened by the ADC's growing popularity and organizational strength in the state. The attack coincided with the party's reconfiguration and the affirmation ceremony for its executive at the ward, local governments, senatorial and state levels. Despite the destruction, ADC leaders vowed to continue their political activities undeterred. The Ohanese Ndigbo community in Lagos State has announced its support for the second term of President Bola Tinubu. The Lagos president of the group, Sunday Ude, described the president as an experienced leader who understands governance and deserves another term in 2027. He made the declaration during a reconciliation parley convened by Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran, popularly known as Jando, lead visionary of the Lagos for Lagos movement. The meeting, held in Lagos, focused on fostering harmony between Yoruba and Igbo residents following recent demolitions in the state. Speaking with journalists, Ude urged both ethnic groups to continue living in peace and mutual respect, warning against sentiments capable of creating divisions. The Ohanese leader called on the Lagos state government to continue engaging with the Igbo community and other ethnic groups to ensure inclusiveness and unity. The African Democratic Congress has cautioned the federal government against using the recent reports of an alleged coup plot as a pretext to clamp down on opposition leaders or stifle dissenting voices. In a statement issued on Monday, the party's National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi warned that any attempt to exploit the rumored coup for political gain would endanger Nigeria's democracy and fundamental freedoms. The warning followed reports that the Defense Intelligence Agency had arrested several military officers from the ranks of captain to brigadier general over alleged secret meetings to overthrow President Bola Tinubu's administration. The defense headquarters has since dismissed the report as false and malicious. Reacting, the ADC criticized the federal government's silence on the matter, saying its failure to issue a clear position despite the military's denial had allowed the rumor to fester and fuel unnecessary anxiety. The ADC said it was disturbing that the federal government had not made a categorical statement on the alleged plot even after the military's repeated denials. The party accused the APC of acting out of desperation and warned that such conduct could undermine democratic stability. Meanwhile, prominent public commentator and activist Madi Shehu has challenged the Nigerian government and military authorities to speak openly on the alleged coup plots that have been uncovered in recent weeks. In a post on X on Monday night, Shehu described the development as a coup shrouded in darkness, questioning why the identities of those allegedly involved have not been made public. The Academic Staff Union of Universities and the Nigeria Labour Congress have united in the move to fight for a lasting solution to the incessant instability in the academic calendar of universities in the country. The NLC also issued a 4-week ultimatum to the government to conclude negotiations with all academic and non-academic unions in higher institutions of learning. The NLC on Monday met with the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASUU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities SANU, College of Education Academic Staff Union, Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnics, among others, over the ongoing strike in universities and other concerns raised by workers in tertiary institutions nationwide. The meeting was held at the NLC national headquarters in Abuja. The NLC had invited all union leaders across various tertiary institutions nationwide to a meeting in order to find lasting solutions to issues stemming from failed negotiations with the federal government. You're still listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. When I head into the news analysis segment, I am being joined by Mr. Elvis Elimihele. He's a political, social and national affairs analyst. Mr. Elvis, it's a pleasure to have you here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chama. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining me today. It was an unfortunate report when the ADC posted on Facebook that its secretariat in Ekiti State was set ablaze by thugs whom they claim to have been sent by the APC. They claim that this was APC thugs that came and destroyed the Secretariat ahead of a reconfiguration and affirmation ceremony they were supposed to have for their executives. This has become a trend in the past about 2 months or so. It started in Kaduna with the attack on the ADC meeting. El-Rufai was supposed to be there from Kaduna. It happened to the former AGF who has aligned himself with the ADC. He was in Kebbi State. Bear in mind that he's been attacked twice at 2 different times. After Kebbi, we saw it happening to GRV in Lagos as well. Can we say that the present administration or the APC is threatened by this ADC coalition, even though we've seen the president's spokesperson and different APC chieftains come out to say over and over again that they are not threatened by the ADC, it's just the mushroom coalition, it will come to no good. So why these attacks if indeed the APC is responsible? Is there somebody at the state levels trying to pander to the federal level to say, look, we are behind you and going? Is violence really the answer?
Absolutely, Choma, is very unfortunate because ADC as it is has not even come up with any candidate. They are not even contesting any election with APC as we speak. And just that they are coming up with a coalition. Why the threat? The APC is, as we speak, is still the ruling party in Nigeria. If they actually put their house in order and are actually doing well, there's nothing they should be afraid of. It's just that they are reading the handwritings on the wall and Nigerians are not comfortable. Nigerians are not finding it easy under their administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC as the leading party, ruling party in Nigeria. That's why you see all this threat and all this thuggery, attacking opposition parties coming up. You will agree with me that if really what happened in Ekiti State is anything to go by that is coming from APC, it's a big shame. The election that is coming up in Ekiti by 2026, ADC does not even have a candidate for that election. So if you are talking of ADC and APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming back as their candidate for 2027 general election, then they still have an opportunity to right the wrong. If Nigerians are not comfortable, Nigerians are moving into ADC, and that is why they are being threatened. They are in government. They can still do something between our 2027 for people to feel the presence of this government in our respective homes. We see them chunking at statistics every day. Is that statistics actually, is it actually reflected in the life of Nigerians? So if these statistics are as it were, Nigerians are being disappointed, then they have to do a homework and stop this attack. This attack will lead to something else. We are talking about threatening national security. You mean if the ADC members also now go ahead and start attacking the APC Secretariat as it has just happened in the Ekiti State, what then happen? Lives will be lost. And who are these lives? Innocent Nigerians that are yearning for good leadership. So I think the president should speak to his party, and all the party executive, APC executives should regulate the activities of thuggery that are coming up under their party at this moment. This
is not the first time the ADC will accuse the APC of being behind their ordeal, but like I said before, it has become a trend. If it's not the APC, who is it? Whoever is it, what is it that they want with the ADC? On whose toes, on which party's toes, on which individual's toes is the ADC stepping on for this to be happening consistently across different states? If
you want to talk of stepping on toes, Choma, you will know that even before they came into power in 2015, they stepped so much on toes.
That's the APC.
APC, they stepped on toes. When President Jonathan was the president, they did worse. They did worse. Now they are even afraid of a coalition coming up when they knew how they came into power. So I think they should speak to themselves, because PDP gave them opportunity to fester as an opposition party. They too should also give another party opposition to fester. That's the good thing about democracy, multi-party democracy. If it is not good with A, we move to B. If it's not good with B, we can also try C. So we have seen PDP for 16 years. Nigerians got tired, as it were, and they came into power. Since 2015, Nigerians are even saying, now, take us back to the era of PDP. Now that PDP has its own problems, and ADC is like, okay, we want to come up with a strong opposition to challenge APC in 2027 general election. Then APC should allow ADC to at least drink water and let it settle in their stomach, because PDP gave them that opportunity in 2014 or 2015 to get to where they are today.
We've been talking a lot about how the PDP handled opposition and criticism and how the APC is handling it. Many Nigerians are actually concerned that could this be an indication of what it will be like in 2027 or before the 2027 elections. We actually saw pockets of violence in different states, different communities ahead of and during the 2023 elections. We saw people actually coming out to threaten certain people from certain ethnic groups, from certain regions, that if they don't vote for the ruling party, then they should not bother coming out. We've also seen somebody, the RCW chairman, coming out to say it again this particular year.
Comrade Sego, yes.
So we've seen different people, even within the APC, they seem so confident. It was last week that the Minister of Information came out to say that, the APC will control 30 states by 2026. If they are so confident in whatever machinery they want to use to go into the election, then why these attacks? Again, is the ADC blaming the APC? Many times they've come out to refute that, no, they're not the ones responsible. But how are they actually educating their people to ensure that they do not have people who go about perpetrating violence in their names? And again, is this an indication of what 2027 will be like? Should the ADC brace up? Should they also go violence for violence? What is the answer?
No. Definitely, what we are seeing is a handwriting on the wall of what is going to happen in 2027. But Nigerians should not allow it, because this democracy belongs to us. You know what we are talking about. If we saw the threat that came from Oluomo then in Lagos and what happened, and now the person that has took over from him now has started this threat, then the people must try as much as possible to organize themselves and demystify it. They are no more than us. They are no more than us, these people that are giving us this threat. And because I can't expect anything better from the government, because this present administration is looking to grab all the states, But if you are getting all the states, everybody is decamping into APC. Why the threat? Why the fear? Because they know too well that 2027 general election is not all about the governors defecting. It's not all about APC having all the state. It's all about Nigerians and APC as a party. Are we comfortable enough to say we want to go the way of APC? The answer is completely no. Nigerians are not comfortable. That's why Nigerians should also call for reformation of electoral act, so that it can give Nigerians the due and expected result when we go to the poll to vote. Because what we saw in 2023, if we stay allow this electoral act of 2023 to fly for 2027 general election, they will still have their way. So I expect Nigerians, if we are talking of, okay, we can go above their authority and we want to get out and vote and bring in a change government into this nation democratically, then we must be able to also say the National Assembly and whoever is involved to look into the electoral act, so that we can have an electoral act that will give Nigerians the desired free, fair, and credible election come 2027.
All right, then. The All Progressives Congress, now the APC in Lagos State, has taken a swipe at opposition parties across the country. The APC in Lagos accused opposition parties of lacking direction, lacking leadership, and lacking ideology. Say Nigerians are moving closer to the 2027 general elections, and the opposition does not seem prepared. Again, I'll say it. Now, when you go across many areas in Lagos State right now, since I live in Lagos, it's Lagos that I know, even though we also see videos from Abuja, you will see the president's, banner.
Yeah.
He may not be directly responsible for that, right? But many Nigerians feel like, there's no way he would not have seen that, and we're not yet in campaign season. There was a video making the rounds on social media last week where you could see many other Nigerians wearing, they were putting on t-shirts, they were carrying banners, carrying placards, and then saying, Tinubu for 2027.
Yeah.
So it would seem that the ruling party is actually putting in more effort towards 2027 than the opposition. To you, do this opposition we have now look like they are ready for the forthcoming elections?
Yeah, they should brace up, even if they are not ready. They should brace up, because what APC is doing is actually staring on their faces and staring on Nigerians. Because even I see some commercial buses, Choma, that are already having posters at the back of it talking of APC for 2020, Governor President Tinubu for 2027. That means they have commenced their campaign. And if you look at all the trajectories favor them, because they owe the INEC, they owe the armed forces. So therefore, the opposition have to brace up, wake up early. Because we saw opposition in 2023 general election, especially Labour Party. Labour Party came into the fray very late. It was within 6 months. And they were able to make such ground. So now, at least all the opposition, even whatever the coalition, whatever the issues they have in their political party, let them resolve it. So that even if they want to form a bigger coalition, apart from the one that is being done by ADC, let them come together. Because if you must have to fight for your for leadership in any form, you must fight for it. You know, like the president said during his time when he was running for this position, when he said snatch it, grab it and run with it. And if that is what the opposition can also come up with now, and also say this is the time for us to snatch it and grab it and run with it from the APC government, for Nigerians to have respite, they don't have any option than to do that.
While we're talking about the ADC, they've come out to advise or to warn this current administration and the ruling party against using this coup probe as a political witch hunt against the opposition. The ADC is saying, look, if you say that there was an alleged coup plot, do not use this as a way to clamp down on opposition leaders or to stifle dissenting voices. The party's National Public Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, actually said it yesterday, say if they try to attempt this rumored coup, because even the defense headquarters has come out to say that there was nothing like that. But many Nigerians are worried, saying even the rumor of a coup is enough to trigger a real coup.
Yeah.
But again, we've seen over and over again with many political analysts like yourself saying, oh, the judiciary is in the pocket of the executive, the legislature is in the pocket of the executive, the military or security agents seem to be in the pocket of the executive. So everyone at the higher echelon seems to be happy with this current administration. It's only Nigerians who are feeding from the lowest rung of the ladder that seem to just have just critique this administration, because we know what we see every other day. Do you actually think that this was just a rumor in order for us to have a situation whereby opposition is being clamped down on, the press is being repressed, and people are just generally being told to be careful what they say, think, act, do against this administration?
Well, in every rumor, there's an element of truth. And we want that truthfulness to be, unearthed by the government, because the defense headquarters have said there's nothing like coup, that is rumor. But we have not heard from the government. We have to hear from the presidency and whatever, that the spokesperson of the president, okay, those military officers that have said have been picked up, what is their offense and why are they picked up? And coming to the opposition, you know too well that this rumor, this trumped up rumor on coup started with the military. During the military era, when they see powerful opposition persons that speak against them, they come up with coup and pick them up. We saw when they pick up the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, sometimes then, and incarcerated him because they never wanted the democracy to come on board. We also saw even when later Sani Abacha picked up some of his military chiefs and said they were planning against him too, when Oladipo Diya and others, Raji Rasaki and Tajuddin Larewanju all were picked. So if that is the same formula this government is trying to bring back again under a democracy, when we say we have left the military era, then they must answer this call that was made by Abdullahi now, because we don't want Nigerians to actually be stifled, all in the name of coup, the coup that the military, the defense headquarters has denied, and the government has not said anything about it. And at the end of the day, we're not seeing opposition party leaders now being picked up all in the, because we are heard that some people are sponsors of the, we even heard that a former governor also is one of the sponsors of the financial sponsors of the coup. Who are these people? Their name have not been mentioned. Are these people opposition leader members? And what motivated their being arrested? They should disclose their names and let Nigerians see them and parade them and let them go to court where necessary, because we cannot be lying low under this rumor, and people are being picked that are part of those people that are wanting to defend this democracy and have been defenders of this democracy since we came into it. So the opposition must check that, and we want to hear from the federal government the truthfulness of this coup, those behind it, and the level it got to before it was nipped in the bud.
What do you think is stopping Nigeria's current opposition from being as, would I say, brazen, from being as feisty, from being as strong as the APC used to be when the PDP was in power?
The difference is just that APC as a political party don't want to hear anything like opposition. We saw a refined government under Jonathan. We saw Nigeria was becoming very civilized. Even the 2011 election that was done or held under Jonathan, when Jega was the INEC chairman, we saw transparency coming in when Jonathan came with card reader as means of election voting. And we saw credibility coming into Nigerian election. But we have not seen that under APC. So the difference is that this APC government do not want to hear anything about opposition, but they cannot shy away from it, because opposition makes democracy to to feed to become lively and create awareness in democratic system. So therefore, the opposition party must have to put their house in order. They are not doing enough. Well, probably because whether they are afraid of the present APC government or not, but today we are challenging them. They have to do more because this present administration, this APC government came into power through opposition because they were given the opportunity to fester and they did this so well and they got into power. So therefore, there shouldn't be any impediment for any other opposition political party to also do likewise, critique them where necessary, and also create awareness for electorate to know their rights, so that they will also fight for the reformation of the Electoral Act, like I said earlier, Choma. Because if these things are right, when you vote, you go and sleep with your eyes closed because you'll be expecting to get the desired result from your voting. Unfortunately, when we vote in Nigeria, they say go and defend your vote. How do you defend vote when the machinery is in the hand of the government, the armed forces, and the INEC? So when they say go and defend vote, it's just a mere theoretical pronunciation because Nigerians don't have the means to defend vote. But the only way you can defend vote is that if we have a reformed electoral act that will be suitable for everybody in Nigeria, then the credibility will not come in. Then you and I will not be eager to say, okay, we want a changed leadership, and knowing fully well that everything that will lead to that change favors you. Then you go out and vote. But we don't have it. Defend your vote. How do we defend vote? We are not armed forces. We are not INEC. Only one person made a pronouncement in 2023 general election that there was a glitch. Until today, he didn't explain it to us. And today he has left and ceremoniously with a national honor. That means he did the bidding of the president that earned him that national honor. These are things we should Nigerians should come out and question and kick against.
All right, then, while we're talking about the things that Nigerians should kick against, insecurity remains at the top of that list. There is a video making the rounds on social media of a pastor serving with the Church of Christ in Nations in Mayanga village in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. Bokos is one local government in Plateau State that
it's
has
been very notorious.
The area itself is not notorious. It is the people who go there.
Banditry
and murder people.
Yes.
And then you have those people who are being very stoic, very steadfast. They say, we don't want to leave our ancestral land. So when they move away from there, after a few days, they come back because they believe that, it will take some time before these terrorists will come back. Because we cannot even just keep calling them bandits because what they're perpetrating is terrorism. Yes. Then this pastor is saying that on December 24, 2024, that 150 people across 11 villages were murdered in just one night. We've seen this insecurity find its way little by little into Kwara State, making inroads into the southwest.
7 local governments are under siege.
Those of us who seem like, we are in the middle of Lagos, it looks to us like we are secured. But every day, we see herdsmen passing through in front of our houses. You see cow dung littering the roads. You see them even on this airport road, on the pavement. You can't cross the road. You can't use the road because you'll be dragging the road with cows. Now, we know that many herdsmen are not inherently evil, and some of them say, they carry weapons to protect their cows. But how do we distinguish between those who have evil agenda and those who do not? And why does it seem that these people actually resist these talks of ranching when 150 people are killed for no reason or for whatever reason, which is definitely not good enough to the ear of anybody who has to hear? What exactly does it look like Nigeria is doing to curb this insecurity? Do you recall when Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso came out to say they will soon tell us, the political elite in our country who are sponsoring insecurity? Ask the question and I say, how come it seems that the international community seems to know the people who are responsible for our plight, but our own Nigerian intelligence, they claim not to know?
We know. It's just that we are shying away from the truth. When Ted Cruz made this statement that Nigerian Christians are being genocide on them, we were able to quickly respond. Even it got to the Senate, and the Senate were like, we are going to send delegates and all that to go and counter it. That's to tell you that we know. What is happening here is that we don't want to speak, the government don't want to speak the truth to power. The pastor that gave her that report, and even with video, is it not part of the genocide we are talking about? That's Plateau State. And you see the number of persons that were killed on the day, 150. You know, so what could be worse than that? A situation where the government is not speaking the truth to it, waiting for somebody to tell them the truth, and even when they are told the truth, they are not ready to hack into it. It's what have made it to fester to the level it is. But we are going to when the Ministry of Livestock was created by this administration, by now, everybody thought that by now we won't be seeing this roaming of cattle everywhere on the street. But we have not heard much about that ministry till today. But that ministry was created with fanfare that it was going to come up with ranching, and this roaming of the cattle on the street will be curbed. Well, what's happening to that ministry? And again, this genocidal attack of trying to clean up some ethnic group because of their ancestral land. What panel or investigation has the federal government set up to say, okay, these people that claim this, that people are trying to clean them out of their ancestral land, and these people that have been accused, let's see how we can come to table and see what is actually the truth. Have you heard anything, Choma? Nothing. So as a result of all this one, this is why even when the statement came from US that Christians and Nigerians are facing genocidal attack, most people believed it. Nigerians know better. We know. You just made mention of Kwara State. You know how many local government that in Kwara State are under siege as we speak? That's also a state in Nigeria. Unfortunately, when you remind the government of all these things, the next thing you're going to see is that it's going to be like an attack. You are like attacking the government. But we are meant to remind the government so that wherever we believe that they've not done enough, they should show up, because the first responsibility they owe Nigeria is to protect their lives and property.
All right, then. While we're talking about this whole insecurity situation, let's also look at the insecurity in the Southeast. While the protest was going on, the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest was going on yesterday in Abuja. There was also a counter protest going on in Abuja. These people had also written to the police to stage a protest. That was last week. They say, oh, they're not happy that someone who has been accused of terrorism, someone who fostered insecurity in the Southeast, someone who spewed violent rhetoric, someone who specifically told certain people of the Eastern Security Network to go out and murder people who did not want to stay on their homes on Monday, which is supposed to be a day of economic duty for people of the Southeast. That why should the law not take its course? Why should the judiciary not be allowed to do its job on the case of Nnamdi Kanu? Now, certain people have also, you do know that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer was arrested. His brother was arrested. They've been charged to court. But the person who led that protest is currently making media rounds, talking about the situation and saying, oh, if we were bandits, they would not come out to attack us the way they did. And also, we did not see the police tear gassing the people who were hosting the counter protests. One question, first of all, do you think this protest has achieved anything or will achieve anything, as the case may be? Because the FCT has gone back to normal after just one day of what can be described as a chaotic protest. Then also, do you think Peter Obi, would you say he escaped a trap, even though Shure does not like this question? When Esther asked him this question last week, he was very, very, very upset. Like, oh, how could you say I'm setting a trap for this man? Don't talk about me like that. I don't like that. But many people say that if Obi and other Southeast governors that had been asked to attend this protest had attended, anything could have happened. Because from reports I saw, as at 7:45 a.m., they were already being tear gassed.
Well, Chama, let me just tell you the truth, that this the protest is not achieving anything. Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner, and everything that has to do about releasing Nnamdi Kanu is going to be achieved through political negotiations. All we saw yesterday was just razzmatazz. The who is who from the Southeast, how many of them were in that protest? There was none of them. We have governors, 7 governors who are APC members, who are supposed to champion the cause of releasing of Nnamdi Kanu. We have senators, House of Rep members. Did you see any of them in that protest, Grant? There was none of them. So the usual people you see on the streets of Nigerians who are sympathetic with Nnamdi Kanu being incarceration for the past 4 years are still the people you saw yesterday. And those people who don't want him out are the ones that we keep mentioning. We keep mentioning the 7 governors, or even the APC governor. Today in Southeast, APC now has 3 states. Southeast. Where were their governors in that protest? They were not there. That's to tell you that. Do
you really expect a sitting governor?
No. Even if they are not coming to the protest ground, but have they made any statement? The only statement I heard from on Sunday, I heard from one of the governors, Anambra State Governor Soludo, was that protest is not going to lead anywhere. that the Easterners need, the Igbos need Nigerians, and Nigerians also need the Igbos. This is what that was a mutual talk. So what happened yesterday was just, I mean, it was just, I even see it as playing down on a very memorable day that Nigerians should have remembered, and Nigerian youth that were grossly massacred 5 years ago.
Shore hijacked that day?
Yes, because I didn't see why 20th of I didn't see anything that would have been.
He said it was a coincidence.
Well, that coincidence could have been managed. It could have been managed, Choma. Why don't we have a shift of date for an incoming program, for a memorial program for the one that we already had? 25 years anniversary of Nigerian youth that were gruesomely murdered because they asked for civil justice in this nation should have even been something that we should have celebrated yesterday. More than remember than yesterday than the coup, than the rally, that the protest that came up. That protest is not going to be the solution to what Nnamdi Kanu is going through.
Will it make his situation worse then?
Well,
because his lawyer has been arrested, his brother is in custody. Some Nigerians are saying that Shore literally delivered them to the hands of the police.
Legally, one will say that the lawyer who is also he is the team lawyer for Nnamdi Kanu, who knows too well that even the case is handling is in court, and he went out to protest. They legally will say, okay, that's sub judice. They have a way they will interpret that. So you see, I mean, there were some things that we have not been able to know concerning that protest of yesterday. It's really not. I'm not seeing any way to help Nnamdi Kanu.
So his lawyer should have known better than.
He should have known better, because I didn't even expect him to be a part of that protest there yesterday. He can be part of those that are logistically, supporting. But now he has got to play into their hand. As we talk, he's being charged to court, and Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to appear in court tomorrow, next tomorrow again, for the continuation of his trial after they've quashed no case submission. So but now he's going to start talking of how to defend himself first before talking of how to defend his client. So there are muddled up issues here now that are not going to lead to Nnamdi Kanu's release as expected.
So his lawyer is being emotional rather than throwing the legal.
Absolutely, he threw out his profession behind, and
So it wasn't Shore's fault. He played into the hands of the Nigerian police.
But he should have been able to advise Shore better, because he is in the legal profession. Shore is not a lawyer. Shore is just an activist. Yes.
All right, then. Just before we go for a minute, I want us to talk about the NLC threatening to down tools if the federal government does not end the crisis between itself and ASUU. ASUU is saying, look, we're not going back to the classrooms. The federal government is saying, do a head count. If you're not in the classrooms, no work, no pay. Nigerian students are the ones who are at the receiving end. Yeah, Nigerian students and the parents of Nigerian students, which I'm part of I'm one of the parents of Nigerian students that are facing this. For me, I don't want to hear anything that has to do with Nigeria Labour Congress, because they have disappointed Nigerians. So even are they coming at this after the first week of this strike has gone already, and we've entered the second week. So if by Monday the second week is over, and this then NSC is telling us giving a federal government 1 month, that means NSC is trying to also prolong this matter. After the expiration of that 1 month and nothing is done, that means another strike will come up. I expected to see NSC, galvanizing his strength around these other bodies around him. NSC is the biggest umbrella. It has all these other affiliates around it, to help them to get what they are looking for. Not wanting to come and start saying in 1 more time, we believe in Nigeria-led NSC, that we have seen them coming up with so many protests in the past, and a day to or less than 24 hours to tell us they are checking out. So ASUU should fight their cause and just down the consequences of a NSC body, because NSC has not done what it's supposed to do to even give ASUU the desired result. And if ASUU want to continue with, as they have continued with the federal government, let them continue. NSC community is not going to make any issue, any changes. Thank you so much, Mr. Elvis Elimihele, for joining me on the World News at 12 today. It's been an insightful conversation. Thank you, Choma. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much, and have an amazing day as well. You have been listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that Japan has elected its first female prime minister. Plateau releases 100 captives in fresh peace deal. Thugs at Ablaze ADC Secretariat in Ekiti State amid rising tension, and Lagos Hanizindi will back Tinubu's re-election bid. That is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good afternoon, and thank you for listening.
This is the station that gives you a voice.
How can you be jubilating when judgment has not been given? Meaning that you are bribing the decision.
You see a lot of young Nigerians who are leaving the country in droves. They are running away to escape poverty.
I'm not looking at this issue, and I think Nigerians should rise.
Many families and properties have been destroyed. Accountability is one of the things that is lacking in governance in this country.
Speak with no hindrance.
Chapter 4, Section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution, Right to Freedom of Expression and Press, states, every person shall be entitled to the freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interfering.
Now you have a voice. Voice of the people, 90.3 FM.
Welcome to the best exclusive radio station, UP 90.3, bringing you the best mix of the best music. Playing the best music for hard-working Nigerians. We are getting the job done. Voice of the people, 90.3 FM.
If I say my family go, I like love me I'm sorry go. Already know that you can't relate, but I I'm a good guy from beginning, so many don't know the me. I want to the cause I'm not the me, cause family said done too many. I know, I need to go, he's a fan of me. I'm ready to show, I'm no way for nobody.